This is the NTSU Exec Elections
on Fly FM.
VP Activities.
So you're going again?
Yes.
So what's made you decide that you want to go for a second time?
Base activities is such a big role. When I first went for it, it was kind of I got told like a year is not a very long time to get things done. So it's always kind of been in my head, maybe I could carry on and do more and keep going and keep trying to improve things. So it kind of got to a point where I thought, do you know what, yeah.
So we've spoken a lot about these ideas. Tell me, what are they?
So main ideas on the manifesto, so society funding, I'm wanting to look into that and have a bit of a rejig of it. Within societies, we're currently expanding, but still sort of working with the same support that societies had 3 years ago. So I really want to look at what we can do with the funding and see if we can give societies more support in terms of staff at the union and how we can make societies support themselves as well in terms of membership and fees for that, and then what money they get from the grant and how that's dished out as well. So it's more of a spreading the wealth between all the societies we have rather than the same societies each year applying for money.
So obviously you've done this for a year.
Yes.
What have you not been able to do this year that you really have wanted to do? And how are you going to improve from what you've done this year as well?
I think, it's a really good question. I think what I've not been able to do this year, which I really wanted to focus on, was a lot of the democratic stuff. We changed the code of practice, which is brilliant. So that's one of the big things that I'm really happy about. But there's a lot of trying to teach societies how the democratic processes work and what they can do in their AGMs and how they can change the constitution and what it means for them to have voting rights and all those little in-depth things that some people who are members of societies might not really get or might not really understand. I haven't really been able to focus fully on that this year, which is definitely something I'll look at for next year.
So are there any specific problems that you faced at all?
I think main problems, we had problems with society by-elections, so that was a bit of an issue in terms of there being things that I didn't know about that were issues and people not being able to communicate with me properly. So I had to sort of reevaluate all that and talk to those people and figure out what had gone wrong and where it had gone wrong. So that was a big challenge for me. And then little bits and bobs to do society assemblies, changing the code of practice, that was a bit of a challenge as well. We had to completely overhaul that and make it so that it was much more student friendly and understandable and all the processes were clear and concise. So there's a lot that's been thrown at me that I've not expected, but I like to think I've risen to the challenge and tried to do my best in how I've combated it. So,
lastly, I want to ask, why should people vote for you instead of reopening the nominations?
I'd hope that people would see what I've done this year and look at it favourably, and I'd hope that people have the faith in me to vote for me again, and just know that I'm not going to take this year as just me trying to get a job for another year. I'm doing it because I'm passionate about what I do, and I'm not ready to leave it yet because there's so much more I can do for people.
Just remember that for all your candidates for VP Activities, VP Community, VP Education, VP Services and VP Sport, you can view all their manifestos online.
You can also have the option to reopen nomination for any of those categories. And for all the information about the candidates, please check out the Fly FM website and the Trent TV website.